We are the dollars and cents.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Well, today we're going to do a little bit of a different video. Not going to be your typical first impressions video that I normally do on this channel, but we're going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be an unboxing, but it's a fragrance that just fell by the wayside. It's been so long since I've tried this fragrance. I guess you can say I rediscovered it the other day, but it's still really good, and we'll get to all that in a second. But first, I want you guys to come with me on a trip down memory lane back to 1992. 92 was a great year. I was 12 at the time. I guess if you want to just consider the first half of the year. I didn't turn 13 until later on in the year. But yeah, in 1992, the Redskins beat the Buffalo Bills in Super Bowl 26. I remember watching that. So that's actually the first. That's actually the first Super Bowl I ever saw. That's right whenever I started getting into football. So I sort of jumped in at the right time. The X-Men animated series premiered for the first time. So that was awesome. That's one of my favorite shows growing up when I was a kid. Tiger Woods made his PGA debut. And as we know, Tiger Woods is a huge deal. Really changed the sport up quite a bit and made things bigger and better for golf. But Kelly Kapowski, right? Everybody had Kelly Kapowski on their walls. All the guys had her poster. If not, they just had dreams about her at night from Saved by the Bell. Finally, Crystal Clear Pepsi was born. If you guys, the older guys out there know what I'm talking about, but they actually thought that making a clear soda that tasted like Pepsi Cola would actually be a good idea. And I guess it was, because it did sell, but it was discontinued a long time ago. But guys, 1992 was a good year. It's also the year that I discovered my first fragrance. So this video is going to be about the first fragrance that I ever bought with my own money, ever tried, and really liked. And I remember getting compliments on this one in 6th grade. Yeah, it's going to be Preferred Stock, guys, from Coty. I did find this at TJ Maxx for $12.99, which is a good price. This is a 1.7 ounce bottle. I'm sure you can find a bigger bottle of this stuff for way less, or around the same price probably. We'll see. But I do know they make two different versions of this one. I think one was Stetson and this one's Coty. But I did look at the notes, and they are going to be the same exact notes per Fragrantica. So yeah, that's going to be nothing you have to worry about thinking that one's going to be. They do call the Stetson version vintage, and it sells for more on eBay, but honestly I think that they're the same note breakdown. So you guys can do with that what you will. Let's go ahead and take a look at this bottle. Again, guys, this is the first fragrance I ever tried. I think I bought it from Eckerd, honestly. If you guys, all my Texas guys out there, if you guys remember the store Eckerd's, that's where I bought it from. If you guys don't know what it is, it's basically like an old school CVS or Walgreens. Basically the same store, they just a different name. But yeah, so here's the bottle. I mean, very cheap, guys. This is going to be a very cheap fragrance. Let's go over a little bit of information about this one. So Preferred Stock from the House of Coty is a men's amber fougere fragrance released in 1990. Don't know the nose behind this fragrance. I'm pretty sure it was just made in a lab somewhere. The notes for this fragrance: in the top we have cypress, lavender, and citruses. In the mid we have balsam fir, clary sage, and nutmeg. And the base to round things off with musk, leather, oak moss, amber, sandalwood, patchouli, and vetiver. Guys, all right. Now, I did buy this fragrance like a few days ago, maybe like on Tuesday or something like that. Today is Saturday, I believe. But man, I gave this fragrance a few wearings, and I was really surprised. One, I forgot how it smelled. And honestly, it didn't bring me back to like what I remember smelling back in the day. Maybe because it's been so long, or maybe because it was, I had like the what do you call it? The pour bottle where it didn't have the splash. I mean, it didn't have the spray on it. And so maybe I poured too much. I'm not really sure why. But this stuff, or maybe my nose has just changed, gotten better over the years. But this stuff smells a lot different than I remember. It actually smells a lot better than I remember. Now, it does remind me of a few others, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I am going to spray my hand here. I'm going to wear this today. I haven't worn anything yet. But, I mean, yeah, guys, this stuff opens up really fresh. Very green. Honestly, it does remind me of a few others. It does remind me a little bit of Drakkar Noir, so if you guys have tried that fragrance. I mean, it's the 90s, guys. That fragrance was super popular then. I don't know which one came first. I guess I didn't look. I want to say that maybe Drakkar Noir came out in the 80s. So this one's probably copying that one. But honestly, this reminds me a little bit of Drakkar Noir. It reminds me a lot of Sung Om, the Purple People Eater, which I did a video on years and years ago. That's another cheapie but goodie back out there. You guys can get your hands on if you like that old school Irish Springs feel. And it reminds me a little bit like Versace Pour Homme. Just those old school fragrances, guys. the old school 90s and 80s, late 80s powerhouses. This one does go along those lines. This is a dated fragrance, guys. You aren't going to get anything different with this one. If you've tried the fragrances that I mentioned, then you've tried this one. But I do think this one is special. Especially for the price, this is a really nice fragrance. If you guys, my older guys out there who want to try something, you've already tried everything out there, and you want to go, I kind of want to go back and try something that I haven't tried in a long time. You might want to think about getting this one, guys, because for $12.99, this is not a bad fragrance. Longevity I got with this one was really good, guys. I wore this one to work like 3 days in a row. It lasted all day, 8 hours long, if not more. But I'm gonna say 8 hours just to be fair and get the full work day out of the way. The projection was moderate, if not average, for an eau de toilette. Or this says cologne spray. I'm not really sure if it is an eau de toilette or not. Let's see if it says on the box or not. It just says cologne spray. So, but it actually has really good performance for a cologne spray or eau de toilette, whatever this is. Lasted all day and got moderate projection. You're gonna get noticed wearing this one. It does smell like an aftershave. So if you have a lady and she walks up to you and gives you a hug, she's probably gonna say you smell like my dad or something like that, which is just not a bad. It sounds kind of weird, but it's not actually the worst, because most women love their dads, and so they want to be reminded of their dads. And so I think that's probably what you're gonna get. So the performance was pretty good with this one, guys. Occasions for this fragrance, you guys can wear this one whenever you want. I do think this is gonna be. It's casual enough with the citrus notes and green enough to kind of give it a playful day feel. But also there's a little bit of amber, an ambery spiciness to this one, a little bit of powderiness as well that gives this one a nice evening feel as well. So I do think you guys are going to be pleased wearing this one for all occasions, evening events and casual day wear for this fragrance. So that's pretty good. Again, for a $12.99 fragrance, you can wear this one day and night. That's pretty good. Nice work scent, guys. You're not going to offend anybody with this fragrance. So the only thing that's going to be offensive, I guess, if someone goes, man, you smell like an old school 90s fragrance or something like that, then okay, then you got me there. Seasons for this fragrance, again, you can probably wear this one all season long. I'm not going to say it's strong enough to cut through the cold, so maybe not so much a winter, but definitely it's going to be okay for cooler weather. I do think it's strong enough for cooler weather. It's going to be good enough for warm weather. And that's, again, if you can cross off at least 3 seasons out of the 4, that's great. I love there's a little bit of like an incense note in here. I'm not really sure where that comes from. There's no incense in this, but it does smell a little smoky and sweet incensey from somewhere, and I do like that. So it does give me a little bit of a fall vibe, or at least it makes it feel like you can wear this one during fall. Ages for this fragrance, guys. I wore this when I was 13 or 12 or 13 years old. 12 and 13, I guess, because I wore it for like a year, if I remember. And I liked it. Maybe it was a bit much for me at the time, because this one does have an old school vibe. It does have like that Italian Cypress from Tom Ford. Even that new, I think I can't remember what it's called. It's from Roja Dove. Came in the green bottle. But that one sort of has this vibe as well. So it does have a older vibe. So the young guys can easily afford this one, but I do think 25 and up should be able to pull it off without looking like a Benjamin Button out there, right? You got a little kid wearing this fragrance. They're gonna be like, dude, are you, Benjamin Button? Are you really like 40 years old wearing this fragrance? Because you probably shouldn't be wearing that. But yeah, I think 25 and up would be a good age range for this fragrance, but easily affordable by all ages. And honestly, it's not a bad little starter fragrance for some kids out there. If you guys are in middle school, I mean, again, I got compliments from this one. I remember getting compliments to this one in middle school, 6th grade. Little old me was, oh, you smell good. You smell good. So, you can't go wrong with that. Guys, but overall, I do like this fragrance. Again, it's not my favorite, but it does have a good DNA that I like. We've all tried these fragrances before. Honestly, Sung Om was my favorite with that DNA. I just love that fragrance. It's a little bit, I think, more powdery, or maybe a little bit more warm, spicy than this one. But they're kind of along the same vein. But yeah, I just wanted to do a quick video on this one. I do think this is it's affordable. It's a classic. It smells great. It has good performance, so it's going to last you all day. And I mean, this fragrance is kind of a no-brainer for a Father's Day gift or something like that. If you don't want to spend a lot of money on a Father's Day gift, just go out and pick this one up. You can probably find it on eBay for super cheap. If you get the latest version, maybe you can get it even get 100 ml for a lot cheaper than what I paid for this one, guys. But yeah, $12.99, not a bad fragrance, guys. What are your thoughts on preferred stock? I really just wanted to go back in the old the time machine with you guys and let you guys know my thoughts on this fragrance. I told you guys or in previous videos that I wanted to start just reviewing the ones that are on my shelf, and I really thought this would be kind of a fun way to kind of start that, to kind of kick that off, because I just think this is a piece of my youth. I'll always remember this fragrance because it just reminds me of being a kid. Even though it doesn't smell like being a kid, to me it does. It just reminds me of my childhood. And this was really what got the ball started. This is what got the journey started for me. What are your fragrances that started your journey, guys? Let me know down in the comments below what was your first cologne, and maybe what grade you're in if you were still a kid. But what your first fragrance was that really got the ball rolling. And yeah, let me know down in the comments, guys. Let's start a discussion, see what you guys are thinking out there, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching another video on my channel. If you like this video, please click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future first impressions videos and first edit content just like this, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you'll find first edit photos and future contest winners. And as always, until next video, you guys take care. Thanks.